Aloha world, and let's just see. Can you guess where we are? Lots of pine trees, autumn colors. Where are we?
We are in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a little east of Pensacola, about probably 160 miles west of Tallahassee. There's a couple of national parks through here. I don't remember the name of them, but there's actually one of the big ones here. I remember my last trip out, I forgot about it until then, but there's bear warning signs in Florida, and I told Crystal about them. She goes, bears in Florida? I said, well, it's actually more common than you would think, but we'll be getting to that pretty soon. But yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful forest area here.
And it's been a little like up and down.
Yep, got a little roll to this part of the country.
Yeah, and lots of, there was like a smaller, you can almost see behind like a smaller tree area, park or something.
Yeah,
forest.
What they probably did is they probably did a controlled cut there and then reseeded and started growing again. They do that in certain areas.
Yeah. And today we have a little bit of rain, not too bad.
Yeah, it's more drizzle mist, not bad at all. We got loaded this morning with no complication and on the road. The only complication is the coffee maker, and the room was broken. So
now we are.
I didn't get my morning coffee, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're on the road. We got about 5.5 hours of drive time with a couple of stops, so it'll probably be about 7 hours before we get there. So we'll be home.
And how did the kiddies do? Like once we opened the car to get them in, what was like? For me, it was surprising. I really expected like to be pee and poo, and there was nothing.
Yeah, well, we fed them heavy the night before, and very, very, very light the morning of, and with a 6 to 8 hour day, they're okay. I mean, if they have to go, they go. We check on them. We've got backup blanket or backup towels in case they do, but they've adjusted quite well to the travel. They have done real well.
What happened when we got there yesterday, when we let them loose in the room?
Oh, they loved exploring. Yep.
Some were going into the corners first.
Yep. They had to check every square inch of the room out and
sniff everything.
Yep. Yeah, check it out. So and actually, funny enough, even after not eating anything for 8 hours,
they were not interested.
They weren't even interested in eating at that time because they were happy to get out of their cages, and they also, they wanted to see where they were at, what was going on before they got into the food. So
yeah. And how was the night? We were actually optimistic and thinking of keeping them in the room with us, but kind of got a little hard.
Yeah, they're a little rambunctious.
Excited, probably.
Yeah. And we have a really big bathroom. For some reason, we ended up in a handicap suite. So really big bathroom, so you can get wheelchair in and out and around and everything else. So we put them in a bathroom. They basically had a suite of their own, and it was going pretty good until about 1:30 when Patches started meowing. She was lonely, scared, something, I don't know, but I tried calming her down a little bit, and that worked for a little bit, and then she started again, and I tried feeding her, and that worked for a little bit, and then she started again, and then I had some crosswords with her to let her know that if Daddy didn't get some sleep, she was riding in the trunk. So she was fine.
Off the deck.
And they didn't hear another peep.
Okay. Yeah, she's been kind of the most vocal. The other ones are like a little more quiet.
Yeah. The other two have had much more opportunity to adapt, even though Lucky came to us about, a little bit later, but Lucky was basically, she was a baby when she came to us. So, she's adapted to everything quite well. Patches came to us from, being a feral cat who is now domesticated. She's really done very, very, very well. but there's still some uncertainties that I could tell scare her a little bit. But she knows she's safe with us. It's just you can see that she's still scared, so you can't blame her.
And Missy was so looking for closeness yesterday because I think she was just happy that we didn't leave her behind, because we suspect that maybe that happened with the previous owner.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, so
because even though she was a stray cat when we found her, it was obvious that she'd been cared for and she was pretty well mannered. So we believe somebody just left her behind. So
yeah, and they were playing with. They created a little cat condominium, with 3 floors.
Yep.
Tell a little bit about that.
Yeah, the kind of a desk type thing below the TV had 3 shelves on it, and equally spaced apart. Patches was in one of them, and then Missy actually went in and joined her, and they were together momentarily, and then Patches wanted a condo of her own, so she ended up going to the one up above, and at some point, briefly, Lucky was in the third one, but she was so full of energy, she was bouncing all over the place.
And then we couldn't find Lucky for 5 minutes. What happened there?
Yeah, I had my book bag in the chair, which was pushed up underneath the desk, and there was space, on the front of the chair, from where my book bag was, and apparently she must have been sitting on the chair there, because I never saw her, and I looked underneath the chair, I looked underneath the bed, I looked everywhere for her, and I couldn't find her, but she was there the whole time.
Yeah. And now it's another stretch for them to get to the new home.
Yep. Yeah, 7 hours, and I'll be ready.
Yeah, and it's a little foggy. Yeah, and Thanksgiving dinner was good?
Yep, I had shrimp, chicken, and ribs, and tater tots. So it was a great dinner.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
And we had an adventure walking there and back, because the car was...
we were about to undo the car and redo the car again.
Yeah, and we wanted to move.
Yeah, we wanted to move, and I intentionally picked a place that had something that was open on Thanksgiving within walking distance. So I knew we had at least one restaurant within walking distance. Turns out we had a couple, but the walk there was, they don't believe in sidewalks or anything in that area. And, it was daylight when we got there and dark when we left, so it was interesting. But
they have crossroads, but they don't have pavements.
Yeah, crosswalks.
Yeah, crosswalks. Yeah, so on the road and getting further into the Florida. So right now we are in the Panhandle.
Yep, Florida Panhandle.
So sending you lots of aloha, and don't go crazy on those Black Friday deals. Yeah, be conscious with your purchases, and purchase maybe more for investments for the future.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so aloha.
Aloha.